My name is Sidharth Borah and my roll number is EZD17005. So my topic is about history of languages. I would like to discuss about the meaning of history of languages. The origins of human languages will perhaps remain forever obscure. By contrast, the origin of individual languages has been the subject of very precise study over the past 2 centuries. The theory is that the members of each linguistic group have descended from one language, a common ancestors. The evolutionary emergence of language in the human species has been a subject of speculation for several centuries. The topic is difficult to study because of the lack of direct evidence. Consequently, scholars wishing to study the origins of origins of language language must draw inferences from other kind of evidence such as the fossil record, archaeological evidence, contemporary language diversity, studies of language acquisition and comparisons between human language and systems of communication existing among animals. Many argue that the origins of language probably relate closely to the origins of modern human behavior, but there is little agreement about the implications and directionality of this connection. The search for the origin of language has a long history rooted in mythology. Most mythologies do not credit humans with the invention of language but speak of a divine language predating human language. Mystical language used to communicate with animals or spirits, such as the language of the birds, are common and were of particular interest during the Renaissance. Now we come to I come to my own mother tongue, that is Assamese. Uh, because I just want to compare the history of linguistics, including the history of my own mother tongue. Nephamese is an Assamese-based pidgin used in Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagamis, an Assamese-based Creole language, is widely used in Nagaland. The Rajbansi dialect of Rangpur division of Bangladesh and Coast Bihar and Jalpaiguri districts of India are linguistically closer to Assamese, though the speakers identify with the Bengali culture and the literary language. In the past, it was the court language of the Ahom kingdom from the 17th century. Its first languages include Angika Bengali, Vishnupriya Manipuri, Chakma, Chittagonian, Hajong, Rajbansi, Maithili, Rohingya, and Silati. It is written in the Assamese script and Abugida system from left to right with a large number of typographic ligatures. Geographical distribution. If we come to the geographical distribution, then Assamese is native to Brahmaputra Valley consisting of western and eastern Assam. It is also spoken in states of Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland. Presence of Assamese script can be found in Rakhine state of present Myanmar. Pasupati temple in Nepal also have inscription in Assamese showing its influence and prosperity in the past. There are also significant Assamese speaking diaspora worldwide. Official status. Assamese is the official language of Assam and one of the 23 official languages recognized by the Republic of India. The Assam Secretariat functions in Assamese. So now we will discuss about the phonology. The Assamese phonemic inventory consists of 8 vowels, 10 diphthongs, and 23 consonants, including 2 semivowels. Consonant clusters. In Assamese, consonant clusters in Assamese include 33 pure consonant letters in the Assamese alphabet. Each letter represents a single sound with an inherent vowel, the short vowel. Alveolar steps. The Assamese phoneme inventory is unique in the Indic group of languages in its lack of a dental retroflex distinction among the coronal stops, as well as the lack of post-alveolar affricates and fricatives. Historically, the dental and retroflex series merged into alveolar stops. This makes Assamese resemble non-Indic languages of Northeast India. The first usage of the English word Assamese is noted in colonial times based on some principle as Sinhalese, Nepalese, and Canaries, derived from the English word Assam. In contrast, Western Assam from early to pre-colonial times was known as Kamrupa and considered a politically, socially, and culturally separate unit from the rest of the state. In the 16th century, the Ahom kingdom was known as the Kingdom of Acham to the Mughals, and later to British. In 1682, the Eastern Kamrup was annexed by the Ahom kingdom, and expanded kingdom continued to be called as the Kingdom of Assam by Europeans till 1821, when the Ahom kingdom became part of the Burmese Empire. After that, Assam became part of British India. Now we come to the writing system of Assam. Modern Assamese uses the Assamese script, and in the medieval times, the script came in three varieties: Bamunia, Kaithali, Lakheri, which developed from the Kamrupi script. It very closely resembles the Maithili language as well as the Bengali script. There is a strong literary tradition from early times. Examples can be seen in edicts, land grants, and copper plates of medieval kings. Assam had its own manuscript writing system on the back of the Sanskrit tree, in which religious texts and chronicles were written, as opposed to the pan-Indian system of palm leaf manuscript writing. The present-day spellings in Assamese are not necessarily phonetic. Hamkoch, the second Assamese dictionary, introduced spellings based on Sanskrit, which are now the standard. Now we come to the regional dialects. The language has quite a few regional variations. Banikanta Kakoti identified two Bod dialects, which he named Eastern and Western dialects, of which the Eastern dialect is homogeneous and prevalent to the east of Guwahati, and the Western dialect is heterogeneous. However, recent linguistic studies have identified four dialect groups listed below from east to west. Eastern group and around Sibsagar district, that is the regions of the former undivided Sibsagar district, areas of the present-day Golaghat, Jorhat and Sibsagar. Standard Assamese is based on the Eastern group. Central group spoken in Nagaon, Sonitpur, Morigaon districts and adjoining areas. Kamrupi group in the Kamrup region, Barpeta, Nalbaria, Palashbaria. Gwalparia group in Gwalpara region. Non-regional dialects. Assamese does not have caste or occupation-based dialects. In the 19th century, the Eastern dialect became the standard dialect because it witnessed more literary activity and it was more uniform from east of Guwahati to Sadia, whereas the Western dialects were more heterogeneous. Since the 19th century, the center of the literary activity has shifted to Guwahati. As a result, the standard dialect has evolved considerably away from largely rural Eastern dialects and has become more urban and acquired Western dialectical elements. Most literary activity takes place in the dialect and is often called the Likhita Bhasha, though regional dialects are often used in novels and creative works. In addition to the regional variants, sub-regional community-based dialects are also prevalent, namely standard dialect influenced by the surrounding centers. Vocotia dialect, uh, highly polite, a sutra-based dialect with a different set of nominals, pronominals, and verb forms, as well as a preference for euphemism, indirect and passive expressions. Some of these features are used in the standard dialect on very formal occasions. The fisherman community has a dialect that is used in the central and eastern region. The astrologer community of Durham district has a dialect called Thar, that is coded and secretive cult-based Vaishnava groups to have their own dialects. The Muslim community have their own dialectical preference with their own kingship custom and religious terms, with those in East Assam having distinct phonetic features. The urban Adaloskan and Iot communities have exotic hybrid and local slangs. Ethnic speech communities that use Assamese as a second language often use dialects that are influenced heavily by the pronunciation, intonation, stress, vocabulary, and syntax of their respective first languages. Two independent pidgins carols associated with the Assamese language are Nagamis and Nafamis. Literature. There is a growing and strong body of literature in this language. The first characteristics of this language are seen in the Charyapadas composed in between the 8th and 12th centuries. The first examples emerged in writings of court poets in the 14th century. The finest example, which is Madhav Kandali's Saptakanda Ramayana. The popular ballad in the form of Ojavali is also regarded as well crafted. The 16th and 17th centuries saw a flourishing of Vaishnavite literature, leading up to the emergence of modern forms of literature in the late 19th century. Now here we come to the conclusion. From the above mentioned point, we have learned that every language has its own features. Based upon various aspects, the features are discussed here. No language is unimportant. Every language has a rich history. We have learned that Assamese is a rich language and many languages are being influenced from Assamese. Thank you.